Alright, welcome to the first edition of Jacked Up. I'm Cody Lefkowitz, the new voice of your Odessa Jackalopes. For today's show, I brought in head coach of the Jackalopes, Greg Gatto. Let's talk about how the season's going. You guys are in the middle of a 13-game road trip to start the season. You guys were just in Wichita Falls, split the 2 games. What's the season sort of look like for the Jacks?
Very up and down. We have a good hockey club. We're not finding ways to win. I mean, it's been nice to actually win in Wichita Falls. I think it was the first time in 2 years, but we played really well in the showcase. Lost a couple games in the last minute on some bad penalties, and you know what? We're a lot different hockey club than we've had. We're a lot faster. We're running 4 lines deep. We're a good hockey club. We just got. It's tough to play, obviously, be on the road for so long and not even get to practice in our rink here. I mean, we're another month away, so. Guys were saying today, like, what is this rink even like? All we do is come here, we change, and then we go to the mall all the time. So it'd be nice to get back into our own rink and really get ourselves going.
Big loss last weekend. Jaden Anderson went down in the first period of the first game against the Wildcats. You just never expect anything like this to happen.
No, you don't prepare for it. I mean, it's just bad luck. He tried to trip it around a guy and got his knee caught. And, he's going to be out for a little bit, but I mean, he's already walking good. He wants to skate next week. I mean, it's his time, and I mean, maybe I always look at it the bonus points. I mean, down the road, he's going to have that much more energy coming down the stretch because he took a month off here. So, but it gave other guys a chance. Like we sat out Brandon Krumschmidt on Friday, and he came back and jumped up right to the top line with Zecker and Heinze, and I thought they played outstanding. So, other guys have to step it up, and it's good to see when they do that.
Last weekend in Wichita, I said it. You guys split the series. You lost 4-2 on Saturday, but then you came out with fire and won 7-2 on Sunday. What was the difference maker between those 2 games?
Well, just finishing chances. I mean, even on the Friday game, we weren't great, but we weren't awful. I think we hit 2 or 3 posts. There wasn't a lot of power plays in either game, so it doesn't get a lot of momentum going. But the second game, all of a sudden, we flipped up some lines. I mean, there's no rhyme or reason. I just kind of threw all the names in a hat and started mixing and matching, and all of a sudden we scored 7. So, I mean, it's nice. I really think adding Nick Wilson back to our lineup made a huge difference. I mean, played the first game, played great. We won 6-2. He played the last game, we won 7-2. So I think there is some correlation to that. He gives us a little bit of a presence, and I know our guys play a lot tougher with him in the lineup.
You've been saying that both your goaltenders have been playing just so well. The plan was to have Hoagie start both games. First game didn't really go the way that you planned, but John Flackney came in, had a great second game on Sunday.
I thought they played good all year. I mean, I don't think I even said that to Mitch here today. What do we do here? And, you kind of want to, if you win, you're in kind of thing. But maybe we just go to a routine where it's Hoagie Friday, Flackney Saturday, and they get themselves prepared for this next 3 weeks where it's going to be a lot of travel and a lot of hockey instead of just riding a guy for a while. Unless they're lights out, let's really conserve ourselves with these 13 on the road. So as of now, I'm going to look at Hoagie gets every Friday. He can be Mr. Friday, and then Johnny Flackney can be Mr. Saturday night.
So this weekend, you guys had the Shreveport Mudbugs. It's their inaugural season. They're not doing too badly. They beat Lone Star once last week, and then they lost in overtime in the other game. What does the week look like leading up to this Shreveport Mudbugs series?
We were lucky enough. We watched them practice in Des Moines on the way to the showcase. And I know I've known Carlos Ernst, their coach, and he's done a great job there. Recruiting speed. Got a lot of European influence. He's a Latvian coach with their national team. And I watched them practice. I mean, I was really impressed with their speed, their puck movement. I mean, it's going to be a new atmosphere, a new rink. I think it's going to be energetic, and I like their team. I think they're going to be a real tough handle. And in the South is such a tough division to begin with, but then there's no easy games. I mean, and that used to be the case where it was probably us being the easy game, and it's nice when you go in there and every game's a battle. And I like our chances. We're a fast hockey club, so it should be a good chance.
You guys are 4th in the division right now. Lots of upside, however. What does the future for the team kind of hold?
Get off of this road trip, get in our barn, and kind of get on a little bit of a roll here. I mean, we talked about being 500 on the road and 750 at home when you get in situations. And we're 4-3 right now with those road games, and we've still got 6 in a row here. So let's see where we end up and just kind of play the right way and stay healthy, stay having fun. And these guys enjoy coming to the rink right now. I mean, it's a great. The weather's awesome. I mean, they love coming and doing all the atmosphere that we do. And so it's can we keep this thing rolling a little bit, have some fun with it, and continue to win hockey games. We want to be a top 2 team in our division. We want to host playoffs. We want to go a long ways and win the Robertson Cup. But you got to have baby steps in order to get there first.
All right, now it's time for a segment called Meet the Players, and who else but the coach for Week 1.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
So, Greg, you played hockey your whole life. Explain, the path and how you sort of ended up in Odessa.
Yeah. Grew up in Canada, obviously. playing all the way through hockey. Played major junior in the Western League. Went to University of Lethbridge, which is my hometown. Played 5 years there, won a championship with Mike Babcock. Most people know me know I talk about Babcock quite a bit. And then one of all places, went over to England to play hockey for a little bit, and met Don McKee, who was coaching over in England, knew him a little bit from Hockey Canada, and lo and behold, 3 years later, I'm in Odessa, Texas. Actually went to San Antonio first, then came back, our team folded, and met my wife in San Antonio, which is an added bonus, and then come to Odessa with Don McKee. And just kind of played 2 years here, coached a year with Donnie, off to Austin for a year coaching, back to the University of Lethbridge, and all of a sudden we left for like 2 years. I don't know if we'll ever come back and see West Texas again. And one of our owners, Adam Doyle, phoned me out of the blue and says, "Hey, would you be interested in coming back to coach our hockey team?" And with Molly being from San Antonio, it's a closer fit, and I think it's been outstanding. Love being back in Odessa.
Do you think Odessa is the ultimate destination for you, or is there, hopefully something else beyond the horizon?
Yeah, I'm not going to look too far ahead. I enjoy my time here, but you always want to get better. I would love to say, yeah, I'm going to go coach in the NHL, but I'm going to take it step by step and do the process that I need to do. And if I do a good job, people are going to find you. I read a lot of the leadership books and whatever, the John Maxwells and those guys of the world, and that's one of the things. It's you can't be looking for a job. It always means you're not satisfied. And if you're doing the right job, people are going to find you. And I just want to do a good job here, and hopefully somebody finds us. And if it isn't, then we're happy being here as well.
So you mentioned a little bit, you read all these books, all the leadership books. I kind of want to know, what was an upbringing for Greg Gatto like that has, made you so loose in the locker room, yet command so much respect from these players?
You know what? So much of it, I think, they all get on. None of them have ever seen me play. I'm 45 years old, but I think, they all go on Hockey Database or whatever. I remember my first year, one of the guys was like, "Hey, coach, did you really have 220 minutes of penalties? What kind of year was that?" I was like, "It's a pretty good year." But I don't know. I've always been. I remember, my parents, friends of our family, they always called me Guy Smiley growing up, or I've always just been. I think that's the way. I think kids you have to relate to them now, and I want them to have fun. I want junior hockey to be an experience for them that. They're going to look back and say, "I had an outstanding time in Odessa, Texas." And I want kids. I'm a teacher by trade. I have my teaching degree. I want kids to play hockey when they're my age. I don't want them to quit hockey because they got browbeaten by a coach or something bad happened to them. I want them to have fun. I'm going to be hard on them when I need to be. It's like being a parent. But I want these guys to enjoy being in West Texas.
Yeah, you mentioned briefly, none of them have ever seen you play, but of course you can go and look up the stats. And not a big scorer, at least early on. Never.
Yeah.
But you did have the fights, you did have the penalty minutes. How did you sort of shape the way that you played, and when did you figure out that was sort of how you were going to play the rest of your career?
I always just kind of played in your face. You idol guys. You watch hockey growing up, and I was fortunate enough. I worked at Sutter Hockey School in Sylvan Lake, Alberta, from when I was like 15 years old, 16 years old on, and I loved the Sutters. They were. I modeled myself after. I loved Mike Bossy and some goal scorers, but the Sutters were the guys that worked their butts off and played in your face, but could score the odd goal. And those were the guys that were respected. And I think that's the way I always just kind of played. It's sticking up for your teammates, and you just learn to play that game the right way. And you're coaching like Chris Stewart, who coached me in San Antonio. And I remember I played for him when I was 18 in Olds. He called me at 30 years old. "Hey, I haven't seen you play in 12 years, but I know what your character is. I want you to come play for me in San Antonio." And I think that's pretty cool, when they don't even know how you developed in the last 12 years, but they know what your character is, and that's a good thing.
Who would you say on this team plays and acts, the closest to you?
I have to say this, but it's probably Zach Zeck. It's probably why I like him, because he is such a rat. But it's those guys that are, he can back it up. He plays hard. It's a different game than when I played too. Like, we had a lot more fighting, a lot more in your face. But I really believe, and sometimes it gets the worst of us as a team, but the team takes on your personality as a coach. And when I get fired up, sometimes it goes the wrong way. Sometimes, but I've kind of curbed it down a little bit. But yeah, I would say a guy like Zachary McKellar, who I love as well, and as our captain, plays very similar. He's going to chip in the odd goal, but he's going to give you everything he's got. He's going to block a shot. He's going to lay it on the line. And those are probably the two guys that I would look at that way. They're very similar to that.
So last segment that we're going to do here on the show, it's going to be rapid fire questions. I'm going to fire one off. You respond with whatever comes to your mind first, whatever best answer you can think of.
Let's go.
You ready?
I'm ready.
All right. First question: favorite hockey team?
We're Calgary. Or Calgary Flames.
Or Calgary Flames?
Yeah.
Favorite player of all time?
Mike Bossy.
Puppies or kittens?
Puppies, hands down.
Guilty pleasure movie?
Oh, jeez. Uncle Buck.
It's a good one. What's your favorite food?
Jeez. Steak and mashed potatoes.
Is a hot dog considered a sandwich?
Possibly. Yeah.
In the right circles?
Oh, right, yeah. You put a pepper on there, it could be sandwich. 100%. Yeah. Without a doubt.
What's your favorite joke?
Oh,
That's clean knowing you.
to none. Zero. Don't have any. If it has to be clean, I'm out. I can't think of a clean joke. No, I'm out.
Favorite actor or actress?
Jeez. Man, you're killing me with this. Well, if I go Uncle Buck, I gotta go John Candy, right? I love John. He's Canadian.
And last question. Let's go. If you could have one superpower, what would it be? Wow, this is a common question that people get asked.
I know, but there's so many good superpowers, right? I'm just gonna go with. What do you?
Super strength, super speed, ability
I'm
to
going
fly.
speed. Gotta go speed. No, not the lion thing. Super speed. Super speed. Then you can catch up to everything you have to do in a day. Right? Super speed. Those are some tough questions. Got me sweating a little bit.
All right, it could be the heat in this
Might
room
be.
too.
Usually we're hanging meat, but it's pretty good.
All right, thanks, Cody.
Thanks, sir.
That's the first episode of Jacked Up. Here for the Jackalopes. We'll be back with you next week for another installment.